Next speaker today, you guys are in for a treat. He's straight out of Texas, if you couldn't tell by his cowboy hat, but Knolly Williams has been a friend of mine since the early KW days, 2007. He's a guy that I looked up to. He was the short sell master. He trained, he coached, he has books. He's a published author. He's over there dancing. He's got rhythm. He didn't put this on his bio, but I came up with it. But internationally renowned speaker, business healing coach, social media of 40 plus years building 6 and 7 figure businesses, nonprofit founder of Life Unlimited Ministries. He's a big Christian man, and he's also a professional rapper in his old life. Wham! Got it in there. Woo! Come on up, Knolly Williams.
If you feel like a room without a roof, clap along if you feel
Come on, y'all.
like happiness is the truth.
All right, we got to get to it.
Woo, woo, woo.
What's up, family? Doing good? It's Saturday morning and y'all are here. That's really good. That's really good. So what I want to talk about is how to get more listings. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. In a good market, listings. In a bad market, listings. All right. So how do we get more of them? Just a little bit about me. 96% of my sales have been listings. I took over 1,000 listings my first 10 years in the business. And now I'm really dedicated to paying it back, helping other agents succeed. I'm a giver. How many of y'all are givers? Everybody in this room. That's how God created us. We're all givers, okay? So I'm dedicated to paying it forward. My wife and I actually retired to Puerto Rico. We spent 3 years there, and we just moved back to Texas because it was like, go to the beach, come home, go to the beach, come home. So we're happy to be back in the States. But we did love Puerto Rico. So I have Success with Listings Academy. It's a nonprofit 501c3. And it basically, I'm all about teaching you how to succeed in the listings game. Now, why listings? Anybody know? In 2003, there was a research project. It was the biggest research project ever done in real estate at the time. The top 100 real estate agents in the nation were interviewed. And at the end of the day, the research project came back that listings is the game, okay? It takes about 1/3 the amount of time to work a listing as it does to work a buyer. So in a month, you could do 10 listings or you could do 3 buyers, same amount of time, okay? Anybody ever read that research project? 2003? It's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That was a research project, by the way. Some of y'all know that. My mission is to inspire you to become all that God created you to be so that you can live the life that you were meant to live. I believe that some of you right now are not living the life that God really intended you to live. And I want to step that up, okay? Where's Elevator Man? Is Elevator Man in the room? Oh, there he is. Jesse, where's Jesse? That's powerful. Anybody ever been homeless? Raise your hand if you've been homeless. Stand up if you, I'm just kidding. I've been homeless. I left home at 16 years old. Some of y'all don't know that about me. And I more or less lived from house to house, and I did that for 2 years out there, okay? I grew up in South Central LA. Mom was very abusive, told me that I would never amount to anything, that she was sorry she ever had me. And by the time I was 16, I got tired of it. I said, I'm out, okay? And I started living from house to house, doing that kind of thing. So I can relate to Elevator Man, all right? I know how that is, all right? Let's look at, I'm gonna share a couple of stories with you guys as well as we go along, because I want you to build the belief that you can do better than you're currently doing. In Proverbs 10:22, it says this: the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. Some of you are getting real rich, real wealthy, but you're scratching and scraping. And that's not really how God intended it, okay? The blessing of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. So I remember when I was 29 years old, made my first $1 million when I was 29, okay? Made millions and millions of dollars since then, okay? But I was working 18 hours a day. And that's really not what life is about. How many of y'all can attest to that, okay? Look at Richard Anderson. When Richard Anderson came to a talk that I did in Massachusetts, he was actually homeless, okay? I can make a little fun of it now because I was there, all right? But I didn't know at the time. He came in just like you guys, okay? He was dressed a certain way, and he had never worked with a buyer, never worked with a seller, But after he left the event, he went and took a $539,000 listing, put $15,000 in his pocket, and got him off the streets. That's the power of us paying it forward and sharing. And he had never worked with a buyer, never worked with a seller. He went against 6 other agents for that listing, and he got it. Okay? Now, guess what Richard Anderson is doing? He's got a house in Puerto Rico, and he's studying for his law degree, and he owns his own brokerage. Okay? So the reason I share these stories is because I want you to realize and understand that a guy that did not finish past 9th grade, that's me. Okay? A guy that got his GED, went to college, dropped out, that's me. Okay? If I can do it, oh, that's Knolly Williams. Hey, you know, if I can do it, you can as well. All right? So there's 3 types of freedom. That we talk about: financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. How many of y'all want to have that? That's the gift of listings, guys. That's the gift of listings. Look at Mina Slaughter. When Mina came to me, she had not had a transaction in 8 months. Anybody ever went 8 months without a paycheck? Don't raise your hand. Oh, he got his hand raised. Look at him. That's 8 months. Okay? I just talked to Mina a couple weeks ago. She has 16 listings right now. She's having the time of her life, and she's working 4 hours a day. Okay? By changing her trajectory, changing her focus to listings. So I believe that I call myself Uncle Knolly. People call me Uncle Knolly. Is that okay? All right, here's what Uncle Knolly believes, all right? You can earn $250,000 or more a year, have nights and weekends off, take 4 to 5 vacations a year, be debt-free, and work about 20 to 30 hours a week. When you focus on listings, that's the way it works. Okay? It's not only, how many of y'all want that? How many of you how many of you, let me just ask you this. How many of you, I was talking to a guy, we went to real estate school, 2003. We both went to real estate school together. 8 years later, I'm talking to him. I'm at where was I at some pizza place, Mod Pizza. I'm having my pizza, me and this guy are talking. And he was like, man, I just admire you, bro. You sold a lot of houses. He said, I'm still trying to have my first 6-figure year. I'm like, man, you've been in the business 8 years and you've never made $100,000? You serious? He said, yeah, I've never done it, bro. So, and so we started talking and started sharing with him. How many of y'all would just like to have a 6-figure year? Raise your hand. Like Knolly. How many of y'all already having 6-figure years? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of y'all want to have multiple 6-figure years? Okay. So look at Angela and Tex. When they came to me, this was in December. They had a hard time in this market, a real hard time in this market, and just look at them. 6 listings, or 5 listings they got in the month of January alone. Okay. From not having anything, I said, what do you got on the board? What do you have closing? I got nothing pending, nothing active, nothing. Okay. So how do you find listings? Okay. How do you find them? There are 3 buckets where all the listing leads that you ever need are going to come from. Okay, write these down. Number 1, and by the way, I'm telling you guys stuff you already know. How many of y'all know you know this stuff already? I was talking to one of my students, one of my academy members, and with a nonprofit, she says, I just bought this program. I was like, oh, you did? You spent money on a program. Tell me about it. She said, yeah, it does this and that and whatever. And I'm spending this much a month. I said, how much time are you spending lead generating? Oh, I haven't gotten to that yet. Not even doing the stuff she knew to do, but yet she's buying stuff, okay? So the 3 lead buckets are, number 1 is going to be your sphere of influence. Number 2 is going to be your farm. And number 3 is going to be your niche. From those 3 buckets, you definitely can make $250,000 a year working 2, 3, 4 hours a day. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to show you more on that here in a minute. Now, I'm going kind of fast. I'm not going to break a lot of this down for you because I have so much free training. What kind of training? Free. My favorite 4-letter word. Okay, I know a few 4-letter words, but that's my favorite one. All right, so the 3 lead buckets of a top listing agent. A lot of times when people see us out there that are listing, you see what John is doing, putting down these big numbers, and we make it look like it's hard just so you could think that we're really doing something. But the reality is very simple. When you have a month where you do 6 closings, 3 might come from your SOI, 2 from your farm, 1 from your niche. When it's 10 closings that I'll do in that month, it looks kind of like this. So you're basically alternating between those lead buckets, but you've got to be prospecting, like John talked about. You've got to be doing that. 8 listing sources that I really like for listing leads right now. By the way, there's 3 types of sellers. Who are they? Those that want to sell. Y'all know this. Those that need to sell. Hey, Knolly, I want to sell my house. Oh, you want to sell it? Okay, let's talk about it. Then somebody else come to me and said, Knolly, I need to sell my house. I say, oh, you really need to sell your house, don't you? Let's talk about that. Now, what's the 3rd type of seller? Those that have to sell. Man, I have to sell. You got no choice, okay? And that's life event. So number 1, a trial listing, I don't really have time to break that down, but on a trial listing, a lady come to me and said, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. I said, you just thinking about it? Well, let's talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it. I'm just thinking about it. Well, why don't we do a trial listing? What'd she say? What's that? Oh, I got him then, boy. You start asking me what it is, now I got you. I said, well, let me tell you about a trial listing. I'm surprised you never heard of it. A trial listing is we just try it out for 30 days, see how it goes. Oh, I can do that? Yeah, with me you can. I don't know about the mother. So we do a trial listing. And the thing is, now don't make your broker go crazy. Every listing I take is 6 months. Sometimes they're a year, depending on what house it is. But in the listing agreement, I say, seller may terminate this listing at any point after 30 days, the trial. It's there anyway, right? And so people feel good about that a lot of times. And I've never had a single seller take it off the market after we start the trial. I'm like, look, it's 30 days. Oh, no, let's keep it on, man. We already got 3 showings. We're doing it. Okay, no problem. I'm good with it. Okay, it's never happened. Now, I'm going to give you a few more. Pre-NODs. This is big. Okay, I do a lot of pre-NODs. I do a lot of old expires. People that expired years ago, back on. And I love land voice. Okay, my boy Ben Kinney. Anybody know Ben Kinney? Okay, I'm staying at his house this next week. All right, he's got a house in Leavenworth. My wife and I are staying there for 3 or 4 days. I'm not in with him like that. He's cool. We're boys and all. But my upline sponsors are real good friends with him, so I'm staying at his house. It's one of those houses where you're like, it's like, which floor are you going to be on? And the rooms have room numbers. I'm like, I don't know what kind of house this is, but cool. Anyway, Ben Kinney bought Land Voice. Some of y'all know that. His company bought Land Voice. And I'm telling you the best data you can find. They're right here. They're our sponsors as well. Your SOI, that's going to be real big. Probate. Those people have to sell. Do they have to sell when they're in probate? They're dead. I like working with dead people. You know, dead folks don't complain a lot. They don't complain about your commission, your prices, all that kind of stuff. So I like dead people. By the way, nobody gets out alive, right? So, I mean, it's all good. But probate, I like probate. Divorce, okay? COVID brought out a lot of divorces, by the way. I mean, look, I didn't like you before when we had to go to work. Now I'm with you all day. Now I really know I don't like you. We're done. So I do a lot of divorce. Those people have to sell. And circle prospecting. I do a lot of circle prospecting around those listings. And all this stuff I teach, I spend hours and hours and hours teaching this stuff for free. Okay? I just want you to know what they are. And off the market listings, we won't get into that. Takes a little bit of time to break that down. Look at Patrick Kelly. Some of you guys said, man, I want to just have my first $100,000 year. Look what he did. He did a $7.2 million listing, and he made over $200,000 in one paycheck. How many of y'all would like to do that? All right. My wife just saw it. We just got a text. We put a real estate property under contract, $3.2 million. Just got the DocuSign 1 hour ago. I'm getting 4% on that deal, okay? And that is a commercial deal. It's a strip center that, I thought John could do it because, John does commercial, but I thought there's no way Knolly Williams could do this because I'm not a commercial guy. I referred it to a commercial person, but the seller kept saying, look, you can do this, you can do this. I was like, can I do this? Went to ChatGPT. ChatGPT was like, dude, I put in all the situation. ChatGPT was like, dude, you can do this, dude. What's up? And ChatGPT told me how to do it. It has been helping me every step of the transaction. We already have a buyer, okay, unrepresented, and I'm getting 4% on it. So Expand your belief. You can do more than you think. Look at Tony. She did a $4.3 million deal last year, got $129,000 from one deal. This deal that I just did, I haven't done it yet, okay? It's got to close in 45 days. But that's a $128,000 commission. I don't mind, you know? Now, every single member here in our nonprofit, these are all making $250,000 or more. So I just want you to know this is something you can do. Now, I want to give you 5 actions before I close. How many? 5 that you should be doing right now to upgrade your success with listings. Number 1, you have to lead generate according to your personality profile. What does that mean? Talk to people in the grocery store. That's one, okay? But know who you are. I'm high on the SC scale. I was the shyest kid in school, okay? When I was 7 years old, I had a speech impediment, couldn't speak. Sounded like I had marbles in my mouth, all right? I had to go to speech therapy for years just to be able to articulate, okay? So the reality is, anyway, if you're a high D, you're going to do those strategies. You know, you're going to call, you're going to cold call. I've never made a cold call. I'm just going to tell you, I've never done it. That's just not my prospecting style. Because if you don't prospect according to your personality profile, it will burn you out. Okay? Number 4, become famous. Everybody in your area should know who you are. Jesus Christ was very famous, wasn't he? Still is. But that doesn't mean you have to be, arrogant, haughty, and all that. But you should be known in the areas that you serve. Number 3, you got to shift your mindset to listings. That is going to really allow you to do more and work a lot less, okay? And I'll show you why that is. Number 2, you got to do the 2, not that kind, okay? Some of y'all had your coffee, you've already done that. So lead generation and appointments, okay? 2 hours a day, 4 days a week. That's called do the 2. It's a 2x4. At least 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, you should be lead generating, prospecting like John taught us. And then number 1, see, there's 46 steps in a typical listing. How many of those steps do you think even requires a license? There's 46 steps. How many require a license? Maybe 6 of them. Really, it's only 3 to 5 of those 46 steps. So why are you doing every step? If it doesn't require a license, isn't that telling you that you shouldn't be doing it? Why are you doing $12 an hour work? That doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense to me. So when you systematize your listing process, you actually can pick out the steps that you want to do and make a lot of money while working a lot less. Look at Susie Floyd. Retired nurse, was making $30,000 to $40,000 a year in real estate, made $300,000 her second year in the business. Okay? That can be you just as well. So I've got a crash course. Those of you that want to learn more about our academy, okay? If you can't, it's $37 a month, and that all goes to the nonprofit, okay? I receive 0 salary from that because I'm good. I'm making money, all right? So those of you that want to be part of that, check it out. There's a QR code. I want you to have the success that God wants you to have, and I believe that listings is that golden key to it, all right? Knolly Williams, Success. By the way, every one of you is going to get my book. It's 400-something pages. It's called, how many of y'all have success with listings? Okay? How many of y'all don't have it? Well, you got it now. People ask me, hey, Knolly, I want to pick your brain. Took me 426 pages. I did it already, so you don't have to stop me in the hall, okay? And I'm going to get you that. God bless you. I love you. Thanks for being here. Woo!